So if you're listening to this, then you probably have a mission or a calling or something important that you want to do with your life that's going to help people, that's going to make a difference in the lives of others. You feel like you have a message to share and you'd love to get that out there. You'd love to see it make an impact and also give you a great lifestyle too, where you not only enjoy the work you do, you make enough money to pay your bills, and you get to live where you want, work when you want, etc. And so you really want to have the whole package. But what stands in the way of a lot of people creating that, and this could be true for you as well, is simply fear of taking action. Literally, like fear of doing something for the first or the second time. It's real similar if you think back to all the other things you've done in your life where you did something for the first time and it was scary as hell, like jumping off the high dive or asking somebody out on a date. Like, you literally were about to die of panic just doing these things that were out of your comfort zone for the first time. And that could be like inviting people to a conversation to see if they want to work with you. It could just be putting up your website or building your online course or whatever it is, like the thing that you're like, I know I should be doing XYZ, but I'm not. And there's big implications to this scenario continuing to go on, because if fear continues to block you from sharing your message, then you're not going to be able to impact the lives of many people. You're not going to be able to get out what you wanted to share that you know in your heart could be helpful to other people. And you might get to the end of your life and just feel like, damn, there was more in me than what I put out. Now, I know what I'm talking about is not for everybody, and it doesn't make anybody lesser if they don't want this, but I'm guessing most of the people listening to this, they want to get to the end of their life and like be on their deathbed and be like, I was like a sponge that was wrung completely dry all the way to the last drop. And I really maximized my time on earth, and I feel like I grew as a person, and I reached behind me and pulled the other people along, helped other people grow, shared every single thing I learned that benefited me at a maximum level so that other people could live a better, easier, healthier, more productive, happier life, whatever it is that they want. That's a big implication, right? There's a lot at stake. And so examining this fear block of what's in the way, which again is usually the real thing holding people back, it's not strategies. That's what we want to do today, and really relentlessly until that obstacle is removed, because it's that important. And what a lot of people will do, this is one thing I did, is like I would be scared of something and I would kind of ignore that and just look for more strategies. I'd be like, well, how could I build a funnel or something, and then I won't have to like talk to anybody. Just almost like a way around, putting myself out there and being vulnerable. But if you find yourself not able to take action for whatever reason, and you are looking for more external stuff to fix that in the surface level world of strategies, then that probably won't ever work, right? If you aren't sure, what you're here to do, and if you're not reaching out, and if you're not working with clients, and if you're not producing, and if you're not doing all the things that it already takes, that right now to grow your education business, then signing up for some program that's going to help you start a Facebook group is not the answer. That's just another widget or a little tool that kind of like attaches on to the outside of what you're doing. But the business is inside of you. The business comes from you. And so most of the time when we have a surface level challenge, and we'll say things like, I want to make 10 grand a month. I want to get my course done. I want to, blah, blah, blah. Like everyone always talks in the language of surface level tangible outcomes a lot of the time. But what they really need is, let's say, more confidence to get over their fear, whatever it is that's actually blocking them from starting to create that online course, from asking that person to become a client or whatever it is. So you have the external game and then you have the internal game, and they're always linked. And the internal thing is usually what's in the way of getting the external thing. Once the internal junk is removed and you no longer have fear, then you can look at strategies and steps, right? Like I just signed up for a program to help me improve my ability to run paid advertising on YouTube. Specific thing that I want to learn, and I'm not scared to do that. In fact, I've already tried to do it a bunch on my own with mixed results. I'm like, I need some professional help here. And so I need the strategic steps of logging in and clicking this and doing that and this and that. That's an instance where signing up for a program makes sense. But if you find yourself just completely blocked, completely unable to take action, then that is going to continue to keep you where you're at until you figure it out. And you're probably wondering why I'm droning on and on about this without providing you a solution. The truth is, in some ways, there isn't a solution, or at least it's not one that I have come across. Like I'm definitely well educated, let's say, in the world of spirituality and observing your thoughts and understanding that fears come from thoughts. But in terms of practice, I have work to do in that area. So I'm not going to spiritually coach you and talk about the depths of where fears come from and all those things. There's plenty of coaches and material out there that would do a better job of that. And so I'm going to propose a different approach, or really an add-on approach to that angle of getting more present and, observing your thoughts and the things that are causing the fear, asking if they're true. All that's obviously great work, and that's at the heart of a lot of what you need. But I'm going to propose that we, instead of doing something that terrifies you and trying to get over it and deal with your fear, which clearly hasn't worked up to this point, or otherwise you probably would be further along. You wouldn't be listening to this, because you wouldn't say, you'd say, I don't have a problem with fear, Brian. I'm taking massive action every day. Well, one thing that really has worked for me and for a lot of my clients is to just bite off a smaller piece to start with. In other words, when you go out there and you're saying, I'm a coach, or I'm an expert, or I'm an author, and I'm going to help people, which everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to do this industry. It's cool. It's gratifying. You can make a lot of money. It's all digital. It's progressive. Like, it's growing rapidly. I get why everybody wants to be in this industry. But not everybody is qualified to teach everything, or not everybody is qualified to teach, how to grow your business. If they've not grown at least one or more businesses successfully, going out and saying I help people grow your business is kind of stupid, right? It'd be like a fitness or somebody pretending to be like a personal trainer and they had not got in shape themselves yet, would you hire that person? Well, that's easy to see because you can like see if somebody's out of shape and be like, obviously I'm not going to hire you. You're not in shape. You don't have what I want. A little harder, when we're in like the realm of business and things, and people could make up stories or fabricate or embellish or whatever. But the problem is if you go out and you try to overbrand yourself and overpromise on all the things that you can do for people, you end up with confidence issues, which could be translated into fear. And so the way to fix that, the very simple, logical, practical approach that I use is just to promise less, just to promise what you can actually deliver. Think about something you can do like with perfection every time. Maybe it's you can cook a certain dish or ride a bike or tie your shoes or, play a G chord on the guitar. What if you created a program as a coach or an expert or whatever based upon something that you knew you could do with 100% certainty? Something you knew you could do because you'd already done it. And so there's no fear around creating content about it, talking about it, being asked questions about it, proposing to get on the phone with someone to share some ideas about it, then asking that person if they want to work with you in a paid engagement or creating the course about it or whatever. Can you feel how the energy is different when you have certainty? For the longest time, when I got into coaching, I was like in real estate and I'd help people with all these different things. And I had done, most of the things like wholesaled and flipped houses and bought rentals and raised private money and invested long distance and blah, blah, blah. But I was kind of like a one size fits all coach. Like I would just hear somebody and I'd be like, I want clients. Okay, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I think I could do that for you. And some of the times I couldn't do it. I couldn't give them exactly what they wanted. And a lot of the times they could tell. And I lacked confidence and conviction. People can smell that on a coaching call, or a sales call, and they wouldn't hire me. And that was probably the real reason, even though they never told me that. And what I learned and what I decided is that, it makes no sense to help people with something that you can't do for sure. And I decided that, I know this sounds like obvious, right? It's like course prime, but I decided I would never offer to help somebody with anything that I wasn't 100% sure I could do. And you might think, well, that's just like the basis of ethics and morals, Brian. You'd be lying if you did otherwise. And that's true. The thing is that stretching what you can do, stretching upon it, inflating it, which is essentially lying, it's pervasive in the online education industry. It's everywhere. I would suggest probably at least 50% of all the people out there can't 100% deliver on that outcome that they're telling people they can. And that leads to all kinds of problems. They end up not even saying what the outcome is clearly, to keep it real vague, man, because, then if you didn't get the outcome, well, I never said you could get $10,000 or whatever, so running from specificity, it makes your content muddy. It makes it so that people don't really know what you do. It makes sales calls a pain in the ass because everybody is trying to figure out if you can help them and you're trying to figure out what they want. And there's just this big mismatch thing going on. And confidence issues and fear are all over it because you're like, oh, well, they want this, they want that. I don't do that anymore. If I get on a call with somebody and they want something that I am not 100% certain I can do for them, that's the first thing I say. I'm like, I don't really know if I can do this for you or not. Have you thought about contacting so-and-so because this is what they specialize in? And if that person, really pushes me and wants to work with me and is telling them why I would be a good fit for them and all that, I might still do it, but I'm still going to say, you're taking a bit of a risk here because this isn't like specifically what I coach on. I think I can add plenty of value, but the truth is, this is a bit new for me and it's not what I do. So I just want to make sure you know that. And then what's funny is that positioning probably gets me more clients than it loses me. Whereas I could have been in the same position and I could be like, oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah. We'll work out a system for that. Blah, 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 blah. I can do this. I can do anything. People can smell the BS in that and they won't sign up to work with you. So that's the funny thing about it is like you are more likely to actually get clients by just being honest, which is what everybody wants. But you're also going to get rid of those fear issues, those confidence issues. You don't have confidence problems when it comes down to bending over and tying your shoes. So stop overcomplicating your offers and what you offer to do for people. If you have confidence issues, it's because you came into this education business and everyone told you that you got to make these grand promises so that you can like match all the other promises that other people are saying they can do, which they really can't. And so you come in and saying that, but your actual abilities are down here right now. Not that they're not going to get better, but they're down here right now. And so there's a gap, and that gap is where the confidence and the fear arises because you're out of alignment with what you know is true. And so all you need to do is dial back your promise. Just promise something more entry level. Get into the game. Make a course. Start growing your email list. Start, creating content. Charge less. Keep your freaking job or go drive for Uber or whatever, and then make enough money a little bit later. Because your legacy is important. The impact that you could have on the world via that is important enough to stop procrastinating and to get into the game and to start making progress today. And so you've got to look at that fear really under a magnifying glass and see what's there and obliterate that, get it out of the way so you can move forward. So I hope this alternative perspective has been helpful for you instead of just me telling you to improve your mindset. This is something you can do on the practical, tangible level of just looking at what you can deliver with certainty and offering that to start and build upon your offers from there, because you will not be limited to this by any means. If you want some help with this so that you can unlock your message, start making progress, if you want to really dial in what that authentic offer is for you, that where you're going to have no confidence issues because you can really deliver it, check out my new masterclass. It's called the Nail Your Niche Masterclass. You guys need to hop on and watch this because it's not only going to show you how to do that, but it's also going to show you how to make your outcome really clear and specific and how to pick a marketing, sales, and delivery vehicle that really aligns with the lifestyle you want. The masterclass goes over essentially the 3 biggest mistakes I made in all my years as a coach. And I just want to download that into your brains so you don't make the same mistakes. brianelwood.net/niche. I'll put that link in the show notes. brianelwood.net/niche to watch the Nail Your Niche Masterclass. Hope to see you there. Here's to your success, guys. I'll see you soon.